Richician.
Hey YouTube, Richician84 here, and welcome to Q&A number 195. Let's kick it off because there's quite a few questions to go in to answer. Starting with 4 from Dragon Master 25, who submitted them a little bit too late last time, but I got them this time. And sorry if I'm sniffing or don't sound right. I think I'm getting a bit of a cold because Emma's not been feeling too well, and I think I'm catching what she's got. You can probably hear coughing in the background. Anyway, 1. If you were a number monster between 40 up to 100, which one would you be? I think, to be honest, it would be a toss-up between number 62 Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon and number 93 Utopic Kaiser. It would be hard to pick. I say Prime Photon because it's one of my favourite numbers, and it's a powerful dragon that I like to go into when playing my Galaxy Photon deck, and just slamming for big damage, whereas Utopia Kaiser is a warrior, and another version of Utopia which basically allows me to bring up more numbers, although they have to have 3,000 or less attack, and I think their effects are negated, aren't they? Their effects are negated, then detach a material from this card. But I can bring out as many as the number of materials that are attached on Utopia Kaiser. Of course, I've never actually played the card myself. Might be a bit hard to do, considering the materials are 2+ number exceeds monsters with the same rank that have material. I don't know, but I guess because I'm more familiar with how Prime Photon works, I'll go with number 62 Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. 2. If Pokemon was your thing before Yu-Gi-Oh!, what would have been your signature Pokemon to us last? I don't understand that last bit. What do you mean, to us last? I'll answer the question anyway. I'd probably say Pikachu, just because it's the main one, and one of the few Pokemon that I actually am familiar with, and that he's like the main one belonging to the main character, Ash Ketchum. 3. Would you rather become a Dalek or a Cyberman? I'd say probably a Dalek, just because they can protect themselves with force fields and stuff, whereas and just get rid of anything that's in their way quite easily, whereas becoming a Cyberman would be very unpleasant due to their assimilation process. And 4. Would you rather be able to breathe underwater in the ocean for 24 hours or fly like an eagle? I'm assuming I'd only be able to fly like an eagle for 24 hours. Shame, because if it was permanent, I'd choose fly like an eagle. Because if I could fly, then I'd never have to rely on public transport again. I'd need to be able to easily still carry my stuff though, but I'd go with flying. But if it's only for 24 hours, then I'd choose breathe underwater. Because I really love swimming underwater, and I wish I could do it for longer, but I'm not able to stay under for very long. Maybe the most I can manage is like 20 or 30 seconds before I need to come up for air. So yeah, that answers that. And now for the other questions. Next questions are from Gunnar, who says he will support the Q&A as much as possible until 200 is reached. Thanks for that. 1. If Odeon beat Joey with Circuit in the top 8, how would that change things in Battle City? I feel like someone else already covered this on another channel, whether it was TGS Anime or this other person, I'm not sure. Well, for one thing, Marek's cover wouldn't be blown, so I guess he'd keep up the pretense, maybe at least until he duels Mai. Then again, I don't remember exactly why they needed to hide Marek's identity and try and pass Odeon off as Marek. I'm not sure. But it's hard to say how things would go, because I mean, I don't know what regular Marek would use apart from Raw, because when Yami Marek made an appearance, the deck was changed about to more torture-esque monsters, but I don't think any of those would be in the deck. Oh yeah, there is another thing to remember, because Marek wanted Odeon to summon Winged Dragon of Ra, and I guess would be annoyed with him that he didn't do it. But I guess some suspicions would still arise. So I guess Marek would hold off on summoning Ra against Mai, but with Mai being the great duelist she is, it could get to a point where Marek would be backed into a corner. Oh yeah, we still haven't covered what he'd be playing. I guess it's heavily implied that he'd be playing Gravekeepers. So maybe that's what he'd run with. But then, like I said, he'd probably end up getting backed into a corner and end up being forced to bring out Ra. So he does, which shocks everyone, and they're like, why does Namu have that card? Unless he is Marek. So yeah, Marek would basically be rumbled, and maybe at this point Yami Marek could come out and then use Ra to its maximum potential and then defeat Mai. Would he? Because I also just remembered that Yami Marek was kept in check by Odeon. but he wouldn't get knocked out here, so would Yami Marek be unleashed without Odeon? I don't know. Maybe at some point it could also get to a point where Marek would be so angry that Odeon disobeyed him and didn't summon the fake Ra that he blast Odeon with the Millennium Rod or something and knock him out, and that would unleash Yami Marek. That's another way of doing it. See, there's too many complicated other scenarios that would come from this. See, this would have been better if it was asked for a What If Wednesday, if I have to be honest. I mean, if Odeon was still conscious, I don't think he'd join the others in the virtual world. Shizu didn't, so nothing would change there. But then we'd get to the semi-finals, where Odeon, of course, would be there instead of Joey, but I'm not sure who to try and face whom. I mean, Kaiba would obviously still eliminate Marek and Odeon just so he could face Yugi, and that would end up happening, which would force Odeon to face off against Marek. So this would be a cool turn of events, and Odeon would desperately try and bring out the good Marek, but obviously Yami Marek's having none of it, and despite Odeon's best efforts, he gets defeated by Yami Marek, and then the rest of the tournament, of course, plays out the same way, and obviously there'd be no unofficial third place duel between Joey and Kaiba. So yeah, that wouldn't happen, unless of course Joey decides to challenge him anyway for whatever reason. But of course, if things don't happen which don't bring out Yami Marek, then I don't know, there'd be no Yami Marek, and I guess less would be on the line. Oh, but then again, good Marek would still face Odeon in the semi-finals all the same. Depending on whether or not Marek's identity is still concealed, and it's unclear whether or not he'd join the others in the virtual world. Probably not. But it could get to a point where good Marek defeats Odeon and ends up knocking him out, which ends up being a big mistake, because then this would unleash Yami Marek, and of course it would be up to Yugi to defeat him. Oh, but then then again, there's the duel with Bakura to consider as well. So I guess that wouldn't happen, and Bakura wouldn't be sent to the Shadow Realm. But yeah, this is my best guess as to how that would happen. 2. There are 3 Yami versions of the owner of the Millennium items. Why are there not 7? Because all 7 relics belong to the darkness. That's a good question, actually. I never even thought about that. I don't know. I guess Kazuki Takahashi just simply didn't think of it. I mean, maybe it would make the original series even longer if there were. I don't know. I mean, could you imagine if there was a Yami Pegasus? That'd be funny. I don't know. I mean, we'd have to get Shardy involved somehow and see him see a Yami version of him. Come to think of it, I don't remember how Yugi came into the possession of the Millennium Scales. How did that go about? I actually can't remember. But yeah, I guess if there was a Yami Ishizu or Yami Pegasus, it wouldn't change anything. Let's see, have I covered everything? So we've got the puzzle, ring, rod, necklace, eye, key. Wait, how did Yugi get the Millennium Scales? I actually can't remember. Did Shizu and Marek already have the scales? I don't know. Maybe not a lot would have changed if there were 4 other Yamis. I don't know. Maybe the scale thing would be part of a Dawn of the Duel storyline. I don't know. 3. Why did Joey say to Mai that she was not in his dream in the duel against Odeon? He really hurt Mai with it. Yeah, he really did. I guess Joey was being an overthinker and was worried that it might come across as him really fancying Mai, and that's how it would come off, and then it would make Mai feel really awkward. And maybe she'd say she only sees Joey as a friend. I don't know. Or if she did have feelings for Joey, then I don't know. Maybe more good stuff would come from it. Like expressing feelings of love. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I think Joey's mindset would have been. Just trying to avoid any awkwardness. 4. Why do you like warrior type decks so much? What is fascinating about them for you? Well, I think of most warriors as heroic figures in a way, sort of like Superman or Lion-O from Thundercats, He-Man, things like that. Yeah, heroes of shows that I like, which are basically warrior-esque figures, and that's what made me like warrior decks a lot, whether it's generic warriors, heroes, photons, battling boxers, just cool. Of course, that being said, I don't like every single warrior deck that's out there. There are, of course, those that I hate with a passion because they just do too much that don't let anyone play the game. Six Samurais, UAs, what else was there? Gokis. That's all I can think of off the top of my head, but obviously, of course, Six Samurais are fine in Richician format, purely because legendary Six Samurai Shen and the Churia Beast are banned, so without those, they're perfectly fine. Of course, Gokis are also fine in my format because Goki the Power Load Ogre and Goki Finishing Move are also banned in my format. But yeah, those two cards just really made me hate Gokis. It made them too much of an OTK deck. So yeah, that's why I ended up detesting them. But again, without those two cards, Gokis are fine. But yeah, UAs, like, there's just too many annoying toxic cards in that deck. Got block backer switching special summoned monsters to defense and negating their effects permanently. You've got perfect ace, which negates everything. Penalty box, making it too impossible to attack anything without my monsters getting banished. Plus, Mighty Slugger and Power Jersey just provide too much OTK bullshit. Yeah, they're just not fun to play against, and the hate for it has been questioned, of course, considering that Reasoning and Rota are at 1 and it can brick. True, but it doesn't always brick. In fact, whenever I've played against UAs, whoever was playing them just never ever bricked, I swear. I don't think there are other warrior decks I hate. But I love how I have to double check. Oh yeah, Tellarknights I also don't like playing against, but that was because Brian pissed me and the others off with the Traver loop and anti-spell fragrance. But obviously I've nerfed them in my format as well, because Traver is limited and anti-spell is just outright banned. I mean, why anti-spell fragrance isn't banned anyway on the normal list is just beyond me. It's such an infuriating toxic floodgate that spell heavy decks just auto lose to. No, that's everything, but yeah. Yeah, other than that, like a lot of warrior-based decks. But I do like spellcasters as well. Spellcasters and warriors are tied for my favourite monster type in the game. Speaking of warriors and 6 samurais, this brings me to your last question. Is 6 samurai before the synchro time a deck you locked out for? I'm guessing that was meant to say looked out for. Well, here's the thing about 6 samurais, and I actually filmed a What If Wednesday about them earlier, but it won't be uploaded for a little while yet. Now, back in the day, we're talking 2007 and 8, like, I didn't have a problem with 6 samurais at first. I mean, yeah, they were tough to beat because of Great Shogun Shen and the 6 samurai Iru, but of course I had no reason to hate them until the legendary 6 samurais came along, and just legendary 6 samurai Shen by itself just ruined them for me and just made me hate them with a fucking passion. Because spamming that and the Churia Beast was just all they ever did ever since they came out, and I've just fucking hated them ever since. Like, Beast and Shen then became a couple of arch nemesis monsters of mine, and 2 of my most hated synchros in the entire game. Like, if they were banned or just didn't exist, I wouldn't have a problem with them. But then, of course, like I said, legendary 6 samurai Shen and the Churia Beast are banned in Richician format, and of course, as we discussed, there's now a plan to ban Cunning of the 6 samurai, like, ever since you OTK'd me with that card. Yeah, that's that. And then the last questions are from Webbers5, who has 3 questions, but before that he also said that he's also never broken a bone, and that the sleeves for Plunder Patrol are called Link Blue, and says, if you're ever thinking about getting some, I have the black variant. Like Gunner, I also want to see you hit 200 Q&A, so I'm going to do my best to keep posting questions going for the next few weeks. So, thanks you guys, you're the best. I appreciate you helping me keep this segment going, like, I really do. I just wish I could think of more questions to help keep your Q&A segment going. 1. I know Emma likes cute decks. Have you ever shown her Madolches? No, I haven't, because Madolches are still under construction at the moment, along with Dragon Maids, Naturias, Ghost Tricks, and I guess now Yummies. Yeah, unfortunately we still haven't been able to get a hold of the cards. We need to finish off those decks. But yeah, obviously once we've finished off her Madolches and she's had practice games off camera, only then will we showcase some games and a deck profile. 2. If and when you reach Q&A number 200, would you be interested in me and maybe some of the others possibly joining you and making it like a Team Sorcerers Q&A, where people can ask any members anything? Probably check which of us are available so you can say who can be asked questions. I mean, that does sound like a good idea, although I feel like that would be more of something that could be done for a Team Sorcerers celebration on the Team Sorcerers channel. Like, for instance, when we celebrate our 6th anniversary coming up this November. mean, maybe I could do this anyway and involve people outside of Team Sorcerers, but I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But again, like I said, this feels like more of something that could be done on the Team Sorcerers channel, more than mine. A great idea, though. And the last question, question 3. Planning to enter my first OTS championship on the 16th. Oh wow, that's a few days away actually. Probably gonna play White Forest. Should I try and throw some spicy tech into it somewhere? I guess you could. I mean, I'm not sure what I'd suggest, because obviously I don't know White Forest very well. But it depends what kind of tech it would be. I mean, I'm sure you probably know this, but you'd have to really think whether or not it's a tech that could really help you out and win you lots of games, or whether there's the possibility that it might not work out as well as you'd think and cause you to lose some games, which I know you don't want to have happen, obviously. But yeah, if it's not worth the risk throwing an attack, I'd say, well, obviously, keep it as it is, or how you initially intend to enter the event, you know, if that makes sense. Of course, if there is a way to throw in a spicy tech that will definitely work and help you out, I say go for it. And of course, I wish you the best of luck in that. Hopefully you win the whole thing. And that's it for questions in this episode. Thank you very much for your guys' questions. Very cool ones as always. And if you've got any other questions you want to ask me, post them in the comments section down below. And remember, I do these episodes every Wednesday afternoon or evening, UK time. So be sure to get your question before then so that you don't miss out. Thanks again, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. See ya. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the Richician YouTube channel.